I'm on. Oh, I had to get my tea. Hold on, y'all. I'm on. I see somebody waiting. Put my headphones on. Okay, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. We're gonna play some music until everybody. Let me add to this.
You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear.
Okay, there you go. I'm waiting on the person to come in. So let me play some music real quick. Oh, there she go. There goes Chanel. Hey, girl. We're on. Hi, guys. Hold on one second. Let me give other
Yo,
people a
yo,
chance to
yo.
come through. Hey, y'all. What is going on? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Okay, hold on. I had some. Oh, I supposed to have this together with. Okay, there we go. We'll play a little jazz. Give people, time to come in. If they're coming on. Can y'all hear that? Can
I
y'all hear
hear
that?
it.
Okay. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Single parents and what goes on in the home. Just those type of subjects. Um, stuff like that.
Chanel, somebody's speaking to you in the comments. Hey, Carolyn Hayes. Caroline Hayes. I unmuted you. You can talk.
Hey, girl.
I'm just giving people time to come in, guys. Just giving people time to come in. We are getting started with this topic, the issues at hand. This is episode 1. You can read down at the bottom. Hey, look at your people coming in here. Hey, y'all. So we're gonna be talking about the issues at hand. Deregulate. Wait a second, because your background is extremely loud. So yeah, your background is loud, deregular. So we're gonna give people a few more minutes to come on in, and then we're gonna go around introducing each other. We'll start probably about 8. Give it about 8:17.
I don't
We'll
got the right
start.
to buy.
All right.
So we're gonna let a little music play a little bit more. They're gonna start about 8:17. We'll start going around the room just and everybody introduce themselves, and then we'll get into the topic at hand. So
all right,
let's do this. I'm letting play a little more music. 8:17. We starting.
All right. I don't hear the music no more.
You
Oh,
don't?
okay.
Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
I'm
had
like,
muted
wait
the
a
mic.
minute.
Yeah, he had a lot of noise. He had a lot of noise going on. So I was trying to de-noise him
Oh,
while
okay.
we, you know what I'm saying? Because I got this sound card system that I'm working out of, and it's like a lot. It be a lot trying to, you
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying? Hear all that. So I'm gonna add him back. So we about ready to get started. So I'm about to
Yep.
turn the music off. We about to get ready. So you like, we ain't hear the music. I'm like, oh shit, that's what's going on. Okay.
Uh-huh. I was just sitting here like, what happened?
I got my hot tea, baby. I had a long weekend. We about to add the regular back in to the stream. The regular, you gonna have to do something about the noise, baby. We wanna this is, minimize as much as you can, minimize your background noise, because people gonna go back and watch this and they're gonna, want to hear. So I'm gonna
If
start
I have
off
to talk about
introducing
a
myself.
different subject besides music just to get out there, then I'll be quiet.
I'm gonna introduce myself. So if you don't know who I am, I don't know how you met me, how you found me, but I'm Ruby Jew. I'm the owner and founder of Ruby Jew Radio. And on this platform, we talk about whatever, do whatever. Only thing we don't talk about is politics, sports, and religion. Those are three things that can get your ass up out of here quick. I tell people that all the time. I don't talk about
Mhm.
those three things. But anything else, we are all open for it. So tonight we are here because I wanted to create this safe space where we can come and we can talk about the issues at hand in the Black community. Um, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I just never I never I never did it. Now, don't ask
Mhm.
me why I didn't do it. I just never did it. Sometimes
Mhm.
you just don't do stuff. Sometimes it be like you have an idea, but you feel like, oh well, ain't nobody gonna support it or ain't nobody gonna tune in or it's a waste of time because we're gonna be talking, but we're gonna it's just a bunch of shit that was going on in my head that shouldn't have been going on in my head. I should just went and did it. But anyway, so I decided to create this safe space for us to talk about issues at hand. One of the issues, and it's gonna be like a series of events. So one of the issues we need to talk about is being raised in the Black home. Like when you're raised by a single parent, it's certain traumas and things that you go through that you deal with that you don't know how to cope with as an adult. You have good times and you have bad times. So I'm gonna read this post. Well, I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourself. I'm from Atlanta.
Mhm.
I've been doing this podcasting thing for about 3 years on and off. This year I ain't letting up. I'm serious. This year I got extra equipment, all this, all that. So I'm ready. And so I'm gonna go and start with I'm gonna go for me, and then we go to Chanel, and then we go to Pretty J. So Chanel, go ahead. You have the floor. I'm gonna mute my mic, girl.
All
Talk.
right. Listen, I feel like you said everything I'm supposed to say. Like you introduced me. Cause we like this when it comes to this podcasting. But so my name is Chanel D, and I have a podcast called Talk Your Podcast. And I've been having a podcast for a few years. I think like 3, 4 years, maybe 5 years. I've been doing this. But I used to be with a station. So I'm from Brooklyn, but I live in Florida now. I don't like it here, but I am here for now. But yeah, on my show it's no filter. Like I say whatever comes to my mind. I haven't posted in a while because social media was hating on me and they wasn't letting me post nothing. They was blocking all my comments from all the blogs. I couldn't post on Facebook, Instagram, but I just see that I can now, so I'm back up and running. But yeah, that's it. I'm excited and that's it. I'm excited to do this.
Okay, so Pretty J, introduce yourself because people are gonna go back and watch this. So I wanna I have to just keep myself, what I'm saying, on the up and up and be like, cause sometimes I be like, damn, what the hell? And then people like, we went back and watched and this was off and that was off and da da da. So I be like, okay, well, let me act like it's 1,000 motherfuckers watching right now.
Because it is. Because
So
it
I
is.
won't, cause I'll be done like, well, cause I'll forget where I'm at. Even though this is a unfiltered, uncensored podcast stuff, I still have to remain, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Structure.
Yeah.
Not saying that towards you, Pretty J, but it was just something that she said that triggered me to, say that. Cause you know how sometimes somebody talking and then You think about, oh, let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me bust through my mind.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, pretty J, not take your spotlight, girl. Let me shut the hell up. Go ahead. I love your hair color, by the way.
Oh,
Yes.
Introduce
thank
yourself.
you. Thank you, girl. I love your accent, okay? And I
Who,
love your
me?
Brooklyn. Yes, girl, your little country self. And your
Oh,
Brooklyn
thank you.
accent is crazy. Like, oh my goodness. Like,
In Brooklyn,
them
we don't have
accents.
accents though.
Baby, that BK, y'all got your own way of speaking, okay?
Yeah,
Like, you
like
know when
what?
somebody from BK, like, okay, we know when y'all entered the room.
Right. Oh yeah, we got some demanding presence.
Yes, but everybody, hello, y'all. I'm Pretty J. I'm from the land, y'all, and if y'all don't know what that is, that's Cleveland, Ohio. Um, I am a master hairstylist, master healthy hair growth specialist. Actually, I have my own hair care line, which is Pretty Girl Products. That's where the pretty comes in. I have a crafting company called Pretty Girl Crafts, and I have a hair company called Exclusively Yours with Teak. So I'm kind of like a serial entrepreneur. I have three published books actually, and a lot of it talks about what we're talking about tonight. I talk about a lot of the stuff that I went through in my household. So the first two books I wrote were actually autobiographies. You guys can actually find them on Amazon or called I Could Have Been Her Part One and I Could Have Been Her Part Two, the tale of the unbroken woman. So, I talk about a lot, of things that we as Black people, quote unquote, don't want to talk about, and people don't like me for that. So, this is the perfect platform. Like I said, y'all can follow me at the Hair Surgeon, DAHAI Surgeon. And my hair page is also that same thing, just with an underscore. So, let's get into it, ladies.
Look, I'm up here damn talking in the damn mic. So look, my mic was muted. I'm like, yes, girl. You couldn't even hear me. But yes, guys, don't be afraid to drop your Instagrams or
Oh
wherever we can
yeah.
find you, your social medias,
Hmm.
whatever your campaign is in the comments. We're gonna add the regular to he's a single father. So we're gonna add him and let him introduce himself and then we'll get into the topic.
All right.
Hey D regular, you ready to talk?
Yeah, what's going on, Ruby Jew? How you doing?
I'm good. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the ladies know where you from and what you do for a
Um,
living.
um, I'm Davion D. Regular Delaney. Ladies, how y'all doing?
Good.
All right,
Good.
how are
That's
you?
that's what's up. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, Brick City. Stand up. Um, I'm now residing in a little small town called Farmville, Virginia. Um,
Hmm.
I'm 41 years old. I'm a father of five, but I'm raising three on my own. And yes, I'm a night shift janitor. At a college called Longwood University down here, and I'm also an artist, a rap artist, writer, singer, composer. Just still trying to make it, still um, trying to make myself relevant in all the right platforms. You feel me? So
What do you want?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, I told you.
I'm
Okay,
definitely the life of the party. I love people.
okay,
And I feel like
okay.
my talent and my skills and all of the abilities that God gave me can lead me to that. Being a people person takes you so far. I have three boys and two girls. My daughters are 19 and 9. My sons are 11, 12, and 16. Now the three that I'm raising on my own, my boys are 11 and 12, and my daughter 9. So that's who I'm holding down right now. To all my brothers, despite of the race, that's getting their children judicially, or however, I commend you because they commended me, and it's a good feeling. You don't give up on your children. I was a crack baby, and I still came out intelligent, still came out okay. Rest in peace, Ma Dukes, Angela Delaney. Um, she passed away 2018 due to a heart attack, and she was a diamond in the rough, to keep it 100. And I just want to get my rap music off the ground. I'm very lyrically inclined. I feel like I have the ability to give the people what they want to hear. It's just been a rough road. And as far as single parenting and children is concerned, our younger generation do make the world go round, though, and I feel like a lot of parents don't listen to their children enough. So I struggle with that, when our children hit the preteen stage, you know that they want to be heard, and that's what I'm working on, to continue to raise my children, continue to be great. This younger generation is off the chain, now. Our younger generation is cripping it, blood, 11, 12 years old, getting their hands on guns at that age at well, scarfing it at that age at well as well. So I try to tell my children, when I'm not around, there's not much I can really do when I'm not around. But when I'm physically in your presence, I'm going to try to teach you and try to put you in the best situation to be successful and be better than me. I didn't make the best decisions in life, so, but I just feel like the music always been my outlet. I was molested at 12 by a
Okay,
female.
deregulate. I don't mean to cut you off. I know you got to go to work, right? I'm gonna let you finish what you got to say, but I got two things I want to do. I want to, because I gotta let you. I know because you got to be to work at 9, so I'm gonna let you finish. You know what I'm saying? What you got to say.
Okay, okay,
But I
okay,
got two things I want to. At first, I want to let Miss Joyce introduce herself. Just tell us where she's from and what she does for a living, and then we'll
okay.
get
My
back
apology.
to. It's
Okay.
okay. It's okay. No, no, no. Because I know you got to go to work, so that's why I let you talk, and then we'll get back to you because I got a question for you. So, Miss Joyce, how you doing? Welcome to the panel.
I'm doing
We
okay.
just kind of like really got started like about a few minutes ago. We just been going around introducing ourselves, and telling people where we from, telling people where we from and what we do for a living and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
It's nice to meet everybody.
nice to
I'm
meet you,
a,
Miss Joyce.
Nice to meet you
I'm
too, Miss
from
Joy.
Savannah,
Nice to meet
Georgia.
you too.
I
Are you
live
from
in
Savannah,
Savannah,
Georgia?
Georgia.
Okay.
Yes. I'm originally from Tampa. That's where I was born and raised. And I'm a minister and I have a catering service that
Okay.
I'm trying to get off the ground. And I'm
Okay.
a single parent. I have 6 children, but all of them are adults except for one. And she's about to go to high school next year.
Excuse me.
So
Okay. That's that's good. Thank you for joining the panel. Yes. I'm excited to hear what everybody experiences with single parent home. And this is something that we're gonna be doing every month. We're gonna talk about the issues at hand in the black community. So if you want us to join every month, that'll be fine with me. I just want to have a safe space where us as people, men and women of the black community or color community or whatever, can come and
mhm.
sit down and talk without, what I'm saying, being judged or being irrational or being irate. We can actually sit down at the table and have the
Right,
conversation. So,
right. And I know that I'm not sure, but I know that I came from a single parent household as well. So I know what it is to grow up in that environment, and I know what it is to have that environment. So
yes, thank
I'm
you for
looking
joining.
forward to
Yes, I'm looking forward to the
everyone else
conversation
as
too.
well.
So look, we're gonna let you deregulate. We're gonna let you finish what you had to say because I know you got a few minutes before you go into work. So I wanted to ask you a question, deregulate. I wanted to ask you now. I know we talked on a previous occasion, and you told me that you received child support from your child's mother, correct?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you finish talking about your child. You stopped it. You got molested at 12 years old, and then I want to get in once you finish talking about that. I want to get into how did it come about? How can I say this? How did it come about you being a single father? Like how did you transition to being a single father? But I want you to finish the molestation part that you was talking about first.
Well, um, drugs make you do some things though. And that's what it all started off. I never knew who my dad was. My mom, God rest her soul, was out there, in the streets real hard. And my grandparents raised me, and they was also using as well. So, I was kind of tossed around a little bit from home to home back
Mhm.
in Newark, New Jersey. And I had a female cousin, which is my grandmother's sister's daughter. Um, and it's just one of them situations, was on my way going to bed, living single, back in up north. Living Single back in '92. Living Single was my favorite show to watch before going to school in the morning. And I thought I was dreaming, and then that happened. She came in and did some things, and and I overcame, and I forgave it, and only happened once. It wasn't a continuation, but that sometimes one time can be traumatizing too.
Mm-hmm.
I married my wife August 29th of '08, and got the divorce within between 2013 2014. Still taking care of my. So I've been in my kid's life way before the judge granted me custody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I June of 2017, I got full custody of our three children, and I've been holding them down ever since. And I just feel like I really want to say big ups to all of the fathers out there. Again, despite of the race, this ain't just about black, any race that get custody of their children. I commend you. Because us brothers, us guys, us fathers, we've been looked at as deadbeats for a long time now, and I commend a lot of the women and the mothers out here who've been doing it without us. I learned a lot from them. So this is a test for me, and I feel like I'm passing. I've made some bad decisions along the way, and so anytime, so she been paying me child support ever since, I want to say 2016 2017, and just holding, they want, my sons want to play sports, my daughter want to dance, and I'm a rapper and singer myself, so it's like sports and music is big in our family, and I just want to continue to be great for them, and want them to be great as well. And that's all I know how to do, is just put my children in a better position to try to be successful, give them that tough love, because this generation is crazy, the rap music, all of that,
Yeah,
so yeah.
listen. I got to. I'm sorry to cut you out, but
No, you good,
we
you
got to we
good.
got to keep it short so everybody get a time to talk. But look,
All right.
I don't. I must correct you on one thing. When you say this is not about race, it is about race, because you want to know why it's about race, because that's how it was started. That's how they continue it, and that's how it's always going to be. When it comes to a black man, when you think about deadbeat, a person automatically think about a black man being a deadbeat. He doesn't. When somebody say deadbeat, they don't think of a white man being a deadbeat. They don't think of a Chinese man being a deadbeat. They think about a black man being a deadbeat. So when you say it's not about race, it is about race, because it is 10 times harder
Okay.
for any black person to be a single parent than it is for any white or Chinese or any other race. So we're like bottom of the barrel. So it's gonna be harder for us to do things to push it to ain't gonna say, yep, say harder for us to push through versus a white woman being a single parent. She has a support system. A white
Okay.
man being a single parent, he has a support system. We don't have those support systems. Some of us do. It's very rare that we do. Some of us do and some of us don't. So it is a race thing. So that's
Okay.
why this community is only, if somebody white want to come in here and if only thing a white person can do for me at this point in this particular conversation, because I'm not a racist, is just say we digress. I just want to listen in and get and see where you guys are coming from. They can't get their opinions. They can't tell us then, because they don't know how I feel to be black. They
They
never
can't
will, never
relate.
have.
I
So
understand now. I understand now.
this is a space for us. See, that's our problem too. We're so inviting to the other race that we don't give a
Yes.
chance for us to have a space for us
Hmm.
to breathe and
I was
relax
just
and let
thinking
our
that.
stuff out.
Yep.
We're so inviting. No, let us have our time. We don't let
Exactly.
y'all in on the damn ideas. We don't let y'all in on the black man's dick. We don't let y'all in on missing race. We don't let y'all in on our secret sauce and pancake recipes. Let
Right.
us have this time. Let us have our own moment in time. Don't get
I
me
get it
Everybody
wrong.
now.
can't
When I
come to the
step
Yep.
out, when I
barbecue.
step off this platform right here, and I go mingle with different people, yes, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna be mingling with whites and Chinese and blacks. And you got some people that have another that is a horse of another color who commend us for coming together and even talking about these issues. They'll support this
Yep.
shit because they want to hear about it. The
Hmm.
ones that don't, those are the racist motherfuckers. So we're
Hmm.
gonna make this space just for us. I don't care. Anybody can come in here, but don't think you finna get up on this panel and tell me how to be black or
Right.
how to be a color girl, because that's not
Fact.
gonna happen.
Facts.
But I
Facts.
commend you for being a single parent because you're like the second person that I've heard doing the single father thing. I know a guy I went to school with, I think his baby mama, she's mentally crazy or she got on drugs or something, and he had to take custody of his twin. So you're like the
Okay.
second person that I've heard this. So I commend you for that. And a lot of people don't know that, roles are starting to reverse. My granddad told me this years ago when I was a little girl. He was like, as times change, roles are going to reverse. Men will become women and women will become men. It's the shift in the earth because of poison that they've been put into the community. See, if we knew our power and we knew how powerful we were, we would know that when we do things, we shift shit around. When we get angry, we shift the earth around. When we be happy, we shift the earth around. But we don't know that we are the one of the people that are of the earth. Like we have powers to heal and do all this. But if we don't know our powers, then how can we make a change in ourselves and our community if we don't know our power? A lot of people are blind to the fact. So this is what this space is for. To open your eyes to some stuff, to inform you about some stuff. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, but it's to create an open community for you to be able to do that without being judged.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you for helping me
So
understand, though.
if a
Most
man
definitely.
can come in here and cry because his old lady cheating on him and he don't know what to do, I'm not finna laugh at him. We're gonna give him some good advice. We're gonna give him some ways to go. And we're gonna send him out into the world so he can be a productive black man, not toxic. You get what I'm saying?
No doubt. No doubt. Cause there was one
So,
point. It was one point. It was one point when I ain't had nobody. And it had a lot to do with the bad choices that I made in life too. And then when I got custody of my children, boy, oh boy. I mean, custody battles, all of that. It's been tough. I've been accused of molesting my daughter. I passed my polygraph test, all of that. So I'm not that monster. So it's been tough, but you know how God do. He been giving me the strength to maintain.
so we commend you on that. Thank you so much, D Regular, for coming up and sharing your story with us. I'm gonna if you can, I'm gonna exit you out because I know you gotta go to work, but if you can join back in, you know what I'm saying, in a few minutes and you can. So we about to because I know you gotta go to work. It's 8:39. So you got what 20 minutes. I want you to, be
Yeah,
able to
yeah. I might can jump back in. Yeah, once I get to get to the college and everything. Yeah, I probably can jump back in once I get a head start on things. No doubt about it.
okay, so thank you for coming by. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and your testimony.
Okay. Much love, Ruby Jew, and
Much
everybody in the panel.
same to you. Thank you.
Bye.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, so ladies, let's go ahead and get into why we are here. I just had to like correct him real fast. Like, no, we're not
Yeah,
inviting.
yeah.
No, this ain't no white man. No, this is about us. We make
Mm-hmm.
everything else about everybody else except for us. This is about us.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm about to share my screen and I'm gonna read this post. Excuse me. I'm gonna read this post out. Okay. I don't know why I'm in the mood to hear some music. It's not the time though. I'm always in the mood for okay, so I'm gonna read y'all this post. This my don't y'all be looking at my emails. Okay, now. So I found this post on Facebook. And so like me and Chanel had talked like what a couple days, it was not yesterday, but day before yesterday, and she was saying about God sending her signs. And I had been wanting to do something of this nature, but I'm like, whatever, don't got time, da 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 da. And then I seen this post and I said, okay, that's my sign right there. So this lady, this girl on Facebook said, I'm sorry, but this older generation can't tell me a thing about parenting. Y'all the same ones that left y'all all y'all kids in the house and let the oldest one babysit, and the older one was probably 10. Y'all the same ones that think beating your kids will solve behavior problems and then tell them you love them and wonder why some of them grew up with issues or why some of them think abuse or by their significant others mean love. Wait, wait, wait. That's the same generation that dehumanized their kids and that they weren't allowed to speak their mind because that y'all deemed it as disrespectful, and it resulted in beating them. The same generation that was always that same generation that always want to say the Bible said honor your mother and father, but skip on the verse that said God said don't provoke the wrath of your it's supposed to say don't provoke the wrath of your children, but she said don't provoke your child to anger. This is the same generation that would belittle their children and spread their business through the whole family, but won't air out the family pedophile or abuser like that though. Their only solution is beat your kids. Y'all know talking is a thing, right? Communication works. Y'all want y'all kids to fear y'all, and that would always be weird to me. So, I'm gonna go around the room, and I'm gonna let Chanel start first. So, with me reading that, like, uh, first of all, I want you to give your opinion on that, and
Mhm.
then also to like just elaborate on being raised in a single parent home, if you were.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like she has some points, but everybody wasn't raised the same. Like in my home, it was just me, my brother, and my mother. But it was always open communication. Like my mother always made it a safe space for her, for us to come to her and talk to her. And she never like pushed me away, never made me feel no way and none of that. If I had something to say, if I was uncomfortable, she wouldn't force me to be in that person's home. She wouldn't force me to go with that person. So that girl, her life was a little different than mine. Now the thing is, as far as not telling your mother everything or your father or whoever you was raised by, as far as not telling them
I'm
everything,
sorry to stop you, Chanel, but your phone is breaking up. I'm sorry. I'm
can you
trying.
hear?
I'm trying to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, because you see, I'm about to get ready, girl. So is it better?
I want to hear what you got to say because we've been talking about this for a while, so I'm ready.
Right. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's a little better now. Yeah.
All right. So I was saying that my mother always created a safe space for me and my brother to communicate with her about no matter what it was. So if I told her I was uncomfortable at somebody's house, she didn't force me to go over there. If I like, like just things like that, my mother always supported me. Now, as far as my mother being a single woman, a single mother in the home, it's not that I didn't tell her certain things because she didn't create a safe space. It was because I know that she's a single woman. And if something is going on, I was scared for her, like for how she would react. I felt like me not telling my mother certain things was protecting her. So it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
always about me. I was just scared, like, what if she react and it turns into a fight or it turns into something like
Mm-hmm.
that? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like, and that's how I am as a mother. I'm not strict. I'm scared for my child to go outside because if something happens to him, how am I going to react? What if they have a
Mm-hmm.
dad who tries to approach me and I'm a woman? I'm only 5 feet. So what am I going to do? And that's how I felt about my mother too. Like, what is she going to do if somebody approaches her? And
Mm-hmm.
one thing I do commend my mom because growing up in the 80s and 90s, drugs was a big factor and it was so
Mm-hmm.
tempting then. And my mother did not fall into temptation. So I could really say when I was growing up, I felt like, yeah, certain things my mother was mean about, or, I didn't like the way she reacted about certain things. But as a single mother now, I get it. Like, I get that. I always wanted to be up under my mother. So I don't know. The girl made some good points, but I don't know. And I wasn't raised in a church. My mother didn't force
Mm-hmm.
no religion on me at
Okay.
all. If I wanted to grow up to be whatever, it was it's my decision. So I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
raised in the church. So I can't really speak on the Bible because I'm not really familiar what's in that book. Not to offend nobody, but I'm not familiar with what's in that book like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, mine's a little different, but I'm letting everybody. I'm gonna go last because that's what a good host do. The host go last. He let the guest go first, and the host go last. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna jump down to Pretty J. So, what was your thoughts on the young lady's post, and then could you elaborate a little bit on you being raised in a single home as well?
Um, I feel like she's speaking from a biased place.
Mm,
A lot of the things that she said was pretty much biased because, you know, in a child's life they need discipline. Okay. Now
mhm,
it's a
mhm,
difference between disciplining your child and abusing them. All right.
mhm,
Now we all got whoopings. Okay, that's something that we all got at one point in our life. All right, now whether if it was to the degree of others, that's something that your parent determined. Okay, now I'm totally against parents that abuse their children or whatever, but I am not against disciplining your child. because especially in this day and age, they need their asses kicked. And I'm
Mhm.
sorry, like that's just what it is. I work as a substitute teacher. I'm in schools every day, and when I tell you, I wish I could kick half of these kids' asses because the
Mm.
stuff that I see and the stuff that they say, I be having to say, really tell them like, excuse me, oh, I'm sorry, Miss G. Yeah, get yourself together, man. Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So everything starts at home. We have to start taking accountability for ourselves and what we're producing and what we're sending out into the world. And that's just what we're not ready to do as a whole, as Black people. I hold myself accountable for my sons. I have two, and I be damned if I have to come to your school. If I have to come to your school, guess what? It's on the flow, baby. It's up
Yep.
and it's going, and I don't give a damn about no teacher. I don't give a damn about nobody, because ain't nobody gonna tell me. I'm serious, because the thing about it is this: we're raising, whether you raising a Black man or I'm gonna stop saying the word Black because I don't like the word Black. Whether
Yeah.
you're raising a melanated woman or a melanated man in America, you understand me? They need to be prepared for life, and that's the problem. We're not prepared. We're not preparing our children. We'll build our sons up physically before we build them up mentally, and then we wonder why
Mm.
they go first. They man be gone first, and they wonder why they do stupid stuff, and you wonder why it's easy for 10 people to rent space in their head. I could call my son in here and tell you, he'll tell you right now. I said, son, what's the first thing you're supposed to protect? He'll tell you his head and his ass. And that's exactly what I tell him. And I talk to my son. I'm so serious. These kids, this is it. I'm serious. I'm raising I'm raising two masculine men. And you're gonna be masculine. And it's gonna be okay, and they know it's okay to talk about your feelings. It's okay for you to cry. I give them that space. But also I give you the space to don't play with me, because you better
Mm-hmm.
know who your mama is and what she would do to you. Okay. But also on the flip side, he'll tell you, my mama crazy. She'll get you. She will come for you. Okay. And he didn't seen it. I'm not the one to play with. So, you know, what she said, I grew up in two religions. Okay. I grew up half in a white Christian setting and a half Catholic setting, because I was raised by my aunt and my godmother. So
Oh, how
half
about
of my
that?
life it's crazy, right? So half of my life I was in a Christian white church where we were the only Black people, the only people of melanated skin. And then when we went to the hood, you know what I'm saying? She went to a Catholic church. So, I never really understood that book either, baby. So Chanel, I'm with you.
Oh,
And
oh
I don't
God.
I don't mean to offend anybody, but I don't believe in having to go to somebody when I can talk to whoever I believe in right here. So I do whatever I do as far as that. I'm a spiritual person. Religion was created by man, so I believe in what I believe in, and this is here, and my temple is here, and I'm gonna talk to myself because he made me in the image of him. So um we have to, like I said, take accountability. And as far as me growing up, I grew up crazy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm what you call a suburban project girl. I grew up in the suburbs, but then my life ended in the projects. I'm the oldest girl, the oldest child, the oldest girl in my generation, and the oldest granddaughter of 32 grandchildren. So I got it, I got it heavy. I had to inspire a whole group of women to change how they live, because the generation before us, they lived any kind of way. So, I've carried a lot on my back, and I've been through a whole lot. So I'm just going to say this to say, growing up in a single parent household, I learned a lot, and I learned how not to be my mother, but I also turned into her, trying not to be her.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
we have to
Yes,
watch
ma'am.
who we're not trying to become, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we can genuinely walk in their steps or
Yep.
be them. So now, who I am now and this person that I am now, this is very much the mild version of myself. And I am very proud of this woman that I have become, because I have come a long way. I got
Mm.
dropped off in the projects in 1997, y'all. Okay. My auntie dropped me off in 1997 in one of the most dangerous projects in the city of Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. And from there, I have never been back. So to never go back and live in those things, even as an adult, and to never have your children never see those things, not to even go visit, it's a milestone. Okay, I can ride past them and tell my son, like, that's where your grandma used to stay, but I can never tell him I stayed there. So, your accountability, y'all need to take it, learn it, absorb it, accept change. It's your best friend, and learn that we are together. We're stronger together in numbers and not separate.
Hallelujah. I like that. Miss Joyce. What was your take on the post that I read, and could you elaborate? Being, I know you said you was a single mother, you raised six, and you also live in a single parent home. So if you can like elaborate on the post that I read, and then also, let us, elaborate on you being raised in a single parent home. You gotta turn your volume up. We can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay. I think I can hear you now.
How about now?
Okay, I can hear you now. Good, good, good. I can hear you
As
now.
far as the post, um, she gave her honest opinion about how it is right now, as far as
Mm-hmm.
they see it now. But me, my mother was a single parent, but I was raised by my grandmother.
Mm.
My mother, she showed me what it was to be street. She did drugs. She sold liquor. She played, had held card games, all kind of things like that. Okay, so but my grandmother, and what she did was she respected me enough as her daughter
Mm-hmm.
to allow me to live with my grandmother primarily. If I wanted to be around her, she would make time for me. She would allow me to come around, and she would keep some of those things at bay. But I primarily live with my grandmother, so I know what it is from the street, and I know what it is as far as religion is concerned. Since I got into ministry myself, um, there's a lot that I have learned that has made me say what Pretty J said. Religion is man made. We are spiritual beings and God is within us. So, I know it from both sides. I got disciplined by my grandmother and them, my mom, not so much, you know. Um, but I'm glad for both sides because when I did get out there in the street, I knew how to handle myself, and when I had to lock myself down and not be in the streets anymore, I knew how to do that too. So the discipline worked and the knowledge worked. So I see it from both angles. I see it where I got my behind tore up, and yes, I did my three oldest children. I did them like that more than I did my last three. My last three, because of what my older children told me about the discipline and how I used to beat them and stuff like that. I mean, they got it like that because that's how I had gotten it. But them speaking to me and letting me know how that made them feel, like they didn't have no opinions and they couldn't speak for themselves, that made me be more lenient and more conversational with the last three. I have more conversations with the last three, and I'm growing with my older three as far as being open with the communication and them being able to come to me and be who they are and what they are and accepting them for those things as well as being a mother to them at the same time. So I understand from both aspects what she was saying. I don't necessarily think that it's biased. I just think that that's what they are taught and that's what they learn now. Back in the day, it wasn't no kids being depressed. There wasn't no kids having no opinion. It was you stay out of grown people business. You don't speak unless you're spoken to. You don't sit on a grown man lap. You don't be all up in grown people's face. You know, it was just like that with us when we was growing up. So I did do that with my first three kids, but my other three, the communication. I had to learn how to communicate with them, or not on my level, but on their level. And I'm still learning how to do that now with my older kids. You know, because my mom was always open with me. It was nothing. I was her only child, so it was like whether I was right, wrong, good, bad, whatever. I got what I wanted, and she was, whatever you need to tell me, tell me. Be honest with me. Sorry about that, y'all. We going through a thunderstorm or something here in Georgia, but she was pretty much.
That's okay. I heard that thunder. I was like, "Who, baby? Somebody moving something?" It's that thunder. Them Georgia storms don't be no joke. Ooh.
uh, but I was able to be open with my mom. My grandma, oh no, ma'am, she had to switch. So it wasn't no being open. It wasn't no talking back. It wasn't no sucking no teeth. It wasn't none of that. So I see it from both aspects, you know. And honestly, I can say that the beatings are kind of productive because these younger kids too. Let me mention this. They built some other kind of way. They're not built like my first three kids was. These younger kids, like my 17-year-old. Now, if I go upstairs right now to beat her, you know what she'll do? She'll bend over so I can beat her. She gonna cry, but that 16-year-old, she ain't gonna cry. That 13-year-old, she gonna run. Okay, but my two oldest kids, I was able to discipline them and get them to sit down and be quiet and y'all go in the room and don't come back out and all that. These other three, these kids these days is built totally different. They're not trying to hear it. They don't want to hear none of that. They're not trying to. If you mine, at least I can speak for my three. One gonna run, the other two gonna stand down like this wall right here. One gonna cry and the other one not. And they still gonna let me beat them and just get it over with, mama. If that's what you're gonna do, just get it over with. So I felt like that was kind of counterproductive when it came to them because it wasn't doing no good. They were still doing the same thing. It didn't matter.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. But for me, I agree with that. Everything that she said in that post, I went through that in my household with my mother. My mother was very abusive. She was not the type to be open for communication. I had a very rocky relationship with my mother. We all right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like. I was just telling Chanel like when people be like, "Oh, I'm close with my mama. Me and my mama going to do this." I don't. I don't understand how people are close with their mother because of the trauma that my mama put me through. Like my mama let a man come in and rape me. I told you that this man was molesting me. You lay him back in the house 8 months later. The man raped me. I had a whole baby by the man. The man is somewhat he out of jail, you know. And I kept trying to figure out like how is this man out of jail and he raped me? 11-year-old, he's 33. Oh, that's because she didn't go down there and do what she was supposed to do. That's my sister's father. So I guess she wanted my sister to be able to eventually have I'm sorry, I got y'all mics muted because I want everybody to be able to hear everybody. But you can unmute at any time if you want to cut in. I think you can. Just let me know if you want to unmute.
Yeah, I just want to stop you for a second. First and foremost, I commend you because I was molested as a child by both of my cousins. One was a man and one was a woman. And then I got raped in my sleep when I was 19. You know, for you to have a baby by your sister's dad, you know, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you kept a baby or
No,
not.
the
You know what
baby
I'm saying?
died. The baby ended up dying
Oh,
because of
okay.
whatever
But
reason.
the
But
fact that you even went through that, okay. Now, my grandmother's mother, no, wait a minute. My grandmother's mother, her father's, my great grandfather, okay, put it this way. My great grandfather was a white man. He raped my grandmother's mother and gave her first daughter. You see what that is?
yeah.
That's some deep stuff. So I just wanted to say that, like, I really commend you because you to even go through that, and to even push out a baby that
At
go ahead.
13, I'm 13 years old.
Bro, that's
Like I
even.
don't know what's going on with my body. I don't like. I'm like
Oh my gosh.
I ain't. I'm like, what's going on? Because I ain't know. Like well, I just had got a period at 11. So going into being 12, growing boobs, I was a tomboy. I ain't like boys. They beat boys up. Like boys come in my yard, like I like you. I fight them. I fight them. And so the fact that my body was changing and I ain't know what was going on. And you as a mother, you say some weird shit like, oh, you whoring around, you having sex with boys. I'm like, I ain't having no sex with no boys. And she like, who did this to you? I was like, your boyfriend. And she was like, who? I was like, your boyfriend been raping me. And she was like, you lying? Why you lying on grown folks? Da, da, da. To this day, she'll deny that she said that, but I never forget the words that you said to me. Like I used to could not like talk about this without crying, but like now that I'm like older and I've healed myself, and yeah, she took me to counseling, you know what I'm saying, for a little second, but it was how can I say this? I can't, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the words to put. It was more like I don't say it was a forced thing, but it was more of like, oh, she's just doing it just to say she's doing it because she don't want to look like this bad parent that didn't take care of that end of her bargain when because I couldn't tell nobody. It was up on the carpet. My grandparents didn't know, my daddy them didn't know. Nobody knew about me getting raped and having baby until I got like 17. This happened when I was 12 and 13. So imagine the pain and stuff that they felt. I finally went ahead and told them. Imagine the pain and shit that they felt. They wanted to kill my mother. Like they had done planned
So
done.
how did you? So wait a minute. So how did you conceal the whole pregnancy from them?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask too. Yeah.
She stopped taking me over my grandparents' house. My auntie
Did
said
nobody
that.
question her why? Like, where my
Where you
granddaughter at?
been
Like,
at? Yeah.
So they did. They tried to pop up and visit. She would block them from coming in. So my grandparents, they were like, they born in the 30s, 1930s, 40s and stuff. So they believe was, you don't disrespect your parents, let her go on. If the mama don't want to, they believed in just letting things come to the forefront on their own. They didn't really believe in like taking action, springing into action. My auntie, she on the other hand, she was like, no, we need to go over there and get her. We need to bust through that house. We need to see what's going on. And they like, nah, we just gonna let her do. They ain't see me for a year,
Were
a
you still
whole year.
going to school?
No, because
Mhm.
once I got to a certain, I think by the time I got like 7, 8 months pregnant, she was looking and she asked me. Once she asked me that, I ain't go to school for, and she found out, and I told her. She called the police and everything. I ain't go to school for a long time. And then when I came back to school, they was like, dang, where you been? We thought you had a baby. Da, 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 da. And every time somebody would say something, my heart, every time I say the word, I used to hate the word pregnant. I used to hate the word garlic. I hated the color green. I used to hate the checkerboard shirts. So anytime I would see that or somebody would say that, my heart would drop. And it's not the fact that the trauma happened, it's the treatment I got after the trauma. Like my mama
Mhm.
didn't treat me how I was supposed to be treated. She blamed me for losing her man. And it was just a lot of things. So from that point on, I resented her a lot. So it seemed like since that happened, she started treating me and my brother crazy, beating us, calling us names, making us eat last, cleaning up behind her, just all kind of irate anger stuff, like pouring water on us to get us up in the morning. I mean, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And my brother, he didn't take it too well, man. He rest in peace. He's in a box on my dresser. He's dead. He's deceased because he didn't take that trauma in the household too well. And just everything that girl said in that post was what I went through. Versus when I went to my grandparents' house, that was a different thing. Like it was love there. I could sit down. Like something, okay, yeah, my grandparents, they old school. Some things, no, I could not come to them and talk to them about. But it was always an open line of communication. Like, what's wrong? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And I was always afraid of how my grandparents were because those were some strong people. Like them folks were strong. So a lot of times I didn't tell certain things, you know what I'm saying? But I grew up in the house with a lot of my cousins, uncles, aunties, my grandparents' side, which is my dad's side, was close knit. My daddy was a crackhead. You know, he smoked dope. He would run off with stuff. So he was a dope head. My mama was chasing after a man. So here you got this little girl stuck in the middle. She gets confused. And my grandma said she used to always, my daddy's mother told me, she said, I used to always tell your mama, keep all them men folks away from around you. Every time we would come over to pick you up, she would have a different man there. And I lived in the projects. Like I'm from Techwood Homes. It's like the first projects ever built in the United States of America. They built them here in Atlanta, Georgia, called Techwood Homes. It was the longest standing, and well, far as like building wise, they were the longest standing. And they was the first ones here. So that's where I'm from. So every time she would come to pick me up, you know what I'm saying? It would be a different dude. I'm young. Half of that shit I don't even remember. But that traumatizing situation, and because she didn't care for me how she was supposed to care for me, it made me very resentful towards her. The abuse that I endured afterwards what was what made me resentful towards her. And it took me a long time to forgive her, long time to talk to her, to speak to her. And just recently I had told her, like, whenever you ready to sit down and have a real deal conversation with my sister because you've been lying to her, then we can talk. Until then, don't come to me with that because I don't want to hear it. So I mean, she was over here last night. You know, we cordially kicked the shit. You know what I'm saying? I got kids now. So I try to keep that, grandparent, let her see the grandkids and let them be around. Cause just cause you only get one mom and all that, but all that extra other stuff that girl was talking about in that post, that was definitely something I went with. So that's why I definitely can agree with everything she said. Now, as far as beating the kids, no, you don't beat your children. I feel like you should have an open communication with the kid. As far as disciplining them, yes, you should definitely discipline your kids because uh prime example, I took my neighbor's son to a birthday party with me yesterday, and he's just disrespectful, hollering at the adults, just talking out of turn, stuff that I feel like a child shouldn't be doing. As far as when it comes to being respectful towards other and just respect other people's space and adults. But that come from his mother not caring what he do. She not discipline him. She not showing him, hey, because don't nobody want to be no bad around no bad ass child. And don't nobody want to be around no disrespectful ass child. But these parents nowadays, they are so caught up in the city girl mentality and
Right.
the city boy mentality and get money first, fuck these niggas later, whatever the case may be, that they're not taking up time with their children to show them the right way. As Pretty J say, train his mind, protect the mind and the ass, and then we can build you up physically. Because if you mentally, and a lot of these men that grew up in single parent homes that are mentally fucked up and they don't know how to cope with emotions because of shut the fuck up, don't cry,
Yep.
men don't cry, or
Yep.
some shit like you was saying, like Chanel said, her mama kept an open space, but like the girl said in the post, you can't, ain't no talking back, ain't no sitting down having no conversation about how you felt about this or how you
Well,
felt about that.
I'm
No.
tell you like this right here. My son demanded. He demanded that I understand him and respect his wishes. Not in no disrespectful way,
Mhm.
but I guess he had been around because it's me and five girls on him. So I think that him being around us emotionally showed him how to let me know, you know, uh, how to demand. Look, mama, okay, I know I'm the boy. I know I'm supposed to be strong, but mama, you still supposed to be here. You still just like you do them girls, and you there for them girls. You got to be here for me too.
Mhm.
Cause a man being raised in a single home and
Mhm.
it's just his mama, she automatically gives him the role of a grown man without even letting him be a little boy.
Right.
So he grows up thinking that this is how he got to be. This how tough he got to be. And a lot, and then people say the dating pool is trash. Yeah, that's because we're dating people. Okay, so the '90s was like the teenage pregnancy era where a lot of teenagers and stuff got pregnant during the 90s. So we're dating those men, the late or not early 90s. We're dating those men who came from those single, them freaknik days, them single father homes where they mama was out being a freaknik, had sex with a guy. The guy got a whole family. He married somewhere. He don't want to be bothered with her, so they left her to be a single mother. So we're dealing with those guys, and so those guys weren't taught to how to be emotionally open and open with communication, or they mama was still trying to do her thing. That's the grandma of today, still trying to do her thing, still looking for a man while trying to raise a son. And so he's seeing all these different shit. So as he grow up, now he in his fucking 30s and he don't know how to communicate
And
properly.
he's emotionless. Yeah.
He don't know how to be, he don't know how to maneuver through life or be, he's told by a drug dealer his mama dating, oh, you a nigga, you a nigga, you don't supposed to cry. Oh, that's punk ass shit. That's punk ass shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So now he don't know how to handle his emotions. So he either turned to anger, he either turned into a rapist, a killer, a thug,
Yeah.
a drug dealer, or
Yeah.
he just a narcissist and he
Or
don't
he
give a fuck.
and that's the biggest thing that I think that we're dealing with. We're dealing with a whole generation of narcissistic men.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 children by 2 men that are narcissists. And when I tell you they have made my life a living hell for the past, my oldest son is 7. I have been in and out of courts since he was 1.5 years old. Okay, because their dads lie, they make up stuff,
Mm.
all types of stuff just because they're narcissistic people. And I didn't understand this. I'm an empath. So a
Yeah, I can
narcissistic
tell.
person, girl, a
I can
narcissistic
tell.
person,
Mm-hmm.
they will they will trap you.
Yep.
They will see the good in you that you don't even see in yourself. They will see the things that you can't even feel yet. And they're just going to attach themselves to you. They're going to leech onto you. When you have a baby with a narcissist, it's just not till you're 8, till that child is 18. It's for the rest of your life,
Mm-hmm.
because they just really just want to be controlling. They just want, certain pieces and parts of you that they can no longer have. You know, I tell my son, every morning, my son's names is Prince Ashton and Priest Jerome. I
Mm.
tell them, I tell Prince when he goes to school, I give him a hug every morning when we get up. He be like,
Mm-hmm.
hug. We give each other a morning hug. I tell him when I drop him off, you know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you put your mind to. All I ask is for you to try, sir. That's it. You know, um, I uplift him. I encourage him. You know, that's what we have to do. We have to pour into our sons, especially our sons, and our daughters, but especially our sons, because they have a little bit more to deal with on a daily basis in school
Yeah.
than the average girl. So it is needed to, when your son, your son sees you in the morning and say, good morning, son, how you doing? He should already know automatically to come to you and give you a hug, or, should be looking for some love from you. Um, you know, we have to, my sons have only seen 2 guys, ever in their whole life. My oldest son, he only met his dad. And then my oldest son met my second son's dad. And my baby, he's never met anybody. You understand me? So we have to have that type of discreet as well, ladies. Stop bringing men around your children. Stop bringing random men home. When your kid ain't home, that's when you can do what you need to do for yourself. Okay? But stop bringing these men. If you don't see yourself with these dudes, if you don't see yourself being with them, if they're not giving you anything as far as mentally feeding you, emotionally, outside of physically, sis, leave it alone. Work on you. Do the work. Everybody say they want this Sierra prayer. Sierra worked on herself. That was the key to the prayer, baby.
Hmm.
Okay.
You better
She
say
loved
it.
herself. She loved herself. She redefined who she was as a woman, and she healed herself. So that's the secret. It's not a table. It's not Dr. Miami. It's not a BBL. It's none of those things. It is working on thyself. Is learning to look. Whitney Houston told us herself, the greatest love of all is here. Love you. And once you love you, everything gonna fall into place. So,
Yes.
we have to really get back into being women, and I'm
Yes.
talking
Yes.
those 1920s, those 1930s women. You know, those women of melanin descent back then, they were the flyest women. Okay. And they were fully
Yep.
clothed. Okay. They were bosses. You know, they owned a juke joint. You know, they owned an after hour. You know, they owned,
Mhm.
a madam, a madam house. You
Right.
know, they owned gas stations. You know, they own these things. You know, and when I say we're better together, meaning the melanated man and the melanated woman.
Oh
You know,
yes, baby. I
we
talk about this
belong
all the time.
Unstoppable
we
force.
belong we belong together. And when they seen that we were stronger together, they separated us.
Yeah, they
Yep.
had to
And
do
they
something.
used our weaknesses against us.
Yep.
So,
Hmm.
in this day and age and where we're moving, we're so far away from even grasping onto each other, because everybody is for self, and everybody is so not in tune with their self. They have all these people that
Hmm.
they call friends. You got this girl you call sister. That's
Hmm.
my cousin. That's my brother.
Mhm.
You sucking off all of these energies, all these different personalities from all these different people because you're afraid to be yourself. You do not know who
Hmm.
you are. If a
And
person
that's the
asks you,
problem.
and that's the issue right now.
That's the
If a
problem.
man asks you, what can you bring to his table? You better not say being domestic. You better not say no vagina. You better not say you could cook. You better not say, oh, you better not say none of that. Because
It's
if
But you
you
know
even that.
what?
begin
That
to
is
say,
the conversation though, and this is
no,
why these spaces are important. Look, so
yes,
when
Yeah.
these when women when I okay, so me personally, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm still working on being this mother that is because I was like Miss Joy said, I'm raising my kids how I was raised. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come. I'm still working on like not being as aggressive, not being like I don't beat. I don't get me wrong. I whoop my kids ass, but I don't beat them like my parents do. So
Yeah.
I'm working
Yeah.
on that.
There's a
But when
difference.
she say something, when you said when Pretty J said like when a man asks you what you bring to the table, you better not say no coochie. You better not say no domestic stuff. It's like, well, how can I? This is what I was trying to explain to my baby daddy. How can I talk or think or be of anything else when that's what all I know. That's all I was taught. Is
well,
that's what you
okay,
bring
so
to the
I'm gonna
table
get in.
for a man. Like this was my mother. This is like what my mother,
Okay,
taught
so I'm
me.
gonna
So
get
she
in.
be saying like, she was saying like, a man's supposed to do this and do this and do that, and you ain't gotta do that but lay on your back and clean, and then that's
No.
it.
Mm-mm.
So when Pretty J say, you better not say vagina or you better not say cook. Well,
Mm-mm.
what else, sis? What else can I
I'm
say,
gonna I'm,
sis? Because
I'm gonna
I
say
don't know
this
nothing
to
else to
you.
say.
Let me tell you this.
You got to
Okay,
know your worth. That's just,
you
it's
have to.
that simple.
That's
Yep.
it.
The
Like,
program.
you know
That's it.
what?
It's that
I
simple.
I never had a father. Okay, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
My mother lied to me about who my father was. I didn't meet my real father till I was 12. The guy she told me who was my father, he ended up getting out of jail when I was 19. He asked me something. He said, what can you offer a man besides some pussy? And at 19 years old, I had the same exact response that you had. I'm like, I could cook, I can clean. I've been cooking
Yeah.
since I was 6. I've been self-sufficient since I was 6 years old. I've been cooking, cleaning, taking care of my brother and my sister since I was 6. So this is what I was taught.
Not to
Okay. Now,
not to cut
granted,
you off, but don't you shouldn't even have to tell a man what you bring to the table.
no, you
Exactly.
You
don't.
have
This
Yep.
this
to
is what I was just about
you
to
have
say.
to know them.
This this
Yep.
We
this is
need to be
exactly what I was
doing.
about to say. Listen, when you dealing with a man, first and foremost, he
Hallelujah.
he has what he has established for his family. You
Right.
understand me? Because
He
he's
need
already
mental
prepared
support.
for you. Okay, he's
Mm-hmm.
already prepared for you financially. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
now when I say what you bring in as a woman, see, for me, what I bring to the table as a woman, I'm not going to spend your money. I'm going to
Mm.
teach you how to make some money. I'm going to
Okay.
That
I get
increase
what
this
mental,
money.
yes.
You understand me? I'm
Yeah.
going to increase this money. I'm going
mm-hmm.
to do whatever it is that I need to do on my end to make life for you easier. Because
Mm.
guess what? If life is easier for you, I don't have to deal with you and your
Mm.
nagging and your aggravation and you being annoyed and all of this moody stuff. I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
So I know my role. That's the problem. We don't
Hmm.
understand our role.
Yep.
Okay. So
You
when he
you
say I
Yep.
want to go on a date guess what, baby? I'm going to get our clothes ready. We're going to have matching colors. I'm going to have on a dress. I'm going to do my makeup. I'm going to have on some heels. And we're going to go out and we're going to go on a date. Now, then when you come home, guess what? I have my lingerie already prepared because it's on up under here already. All right? So this is what I'm saying. What are you bringing to the table? You have to bring mental stability. You have to bring emotional stability. You have to bring not just physical stimulation. You feel me? You can't want these things from a man. You can't want him to protect you, provide, and profess for you if you just thinking that you're supposed to give him some coochie and that's supposed to be it. No, baby. You gotta work for this just as much as you want him to work for it.
Yeah,
that's true. But
you
how
can't
can
have a
somebody
man.
say-
You can't have a man that take care of you. You understand me? And think that just giving him some coochie is supposed to be it, but yet alone your attitude is bad. You don't cook, you don't clean. He got to come home and tell you, well, Ruby, I need you to do that. No, guess what? Because when that man wake up, his lunch pail should be ready, especially if he go to work every day, baby. That pail supposed to be ready. That uniform supposed to be on that couch ready for him, baby. And if you a real one, you gonna get him up and you gonna get him dressed and you gonna send him on his way. Because you don't leave
See,
it.
look,
You
but
never
how
leave him.
can you? That's what I'm. This is all
And I
goes
got,
back
but
to
see, I got this
being raised
because
in a
my
single parent
aunt. Now
home.
listen, my aunt, I told y'all, my aunt and my godmother raised me. Okay, by the time I got to my mother, y'all, I was 6, so I was raised already. So my aunt, she worked. They were one of the first melanated people to live in a very high, predominantly suburb in Ohio. Okay, it's a place called Hudson. All right, they were one of the first melanated families to buy a house out there. So she was a registered nurse. She actually used to work for the FBI, but she actually ended up becoming a registered nurse. He worked for the Ford plant. All right. So my uncle held down the fort. My auntie had back problems. She had knee surgeries. You know, she tore up her body because she was a nurse, but she also was a part of the baby boomers because she was sick. She got sick a lot. So those baby boomers, they had all of these different diseases, multiple sclerosis,
exactly what I was gonna
all
say.
of these different things that they had wrong with them. So as she started aging, she started getting sick. So he had to hold the fort down. So my auntie and my uncle, I never seen them argue. You never even knew that they even did. If they didn't like each other, you never knew it because guess what? That man went to work. You seen that man go to sleep. You seen him get up, put them blues on. He grabbed that bucket. She kissed her husband on his way out the door. He went to work. By the time nightfall came home, he came home. He had his dinner on the table, and that man went to sleep. So, you know, this is what I seen. And she told me, she said, you know, you need to find you a man like your uncle. I'm still looking for him, baby, because I ain't found no man yet that can hold down the
man
fort.
gonna find you. You don't find a man. They said the man gonna find you.
Yes.
That's what they say.
But this is what she said. You know what I'm saying? When I think when she said it in the aspect of the characteristics, you know, of what to look for. Because mind you, I've never had a dad. He was the only man in my life. So if I'm looking, or if a man is looking for me, I have to know what I'm looking.
But see, look, even then you had examples. I'm speaking from a standpoint for a person that don't have those examples living in a single parent home. It's a lot of people out here that don't have those type of examples. Their mothers are like my mothers, or like different. They're not focused on. I'm speaking from a late 80s, early 90s standpoint.
Right.
These
my
men
mother
that we're
had
dealing
me at
with
16
today.
I get it.
So
Like
it's
I
like
would have been in the same boat.
we don't have. You two are probably one in 10% that had those examples in that open communication home. You had those examples. What about the other 9% that don't have that? That I was one of those 9%.
I think that comes with growth, though, as a woman.
Yeah, as you grow,
you know, as
what
a
hurts
woman,
you.
right?
You know what hurts you. You know what makes you uncomfortable.
Right. You should know,
so
as
you
a
know
woman,
to walk away from it. Yeah.
When you growing, when you growing and you going through these trials and these tribulations, and you dealing with these men and you having these kids, you at some point you see, like, you know what, I don't like how this man treat me, you know. So you leave him, right? So then now you know what you're looking for the next time. So every time we leave these men, it's always for something that we don't like, whether it take us a short time or a long period of time.
Right.
So by the time you finally get to at whoever this man is, You got the idea of what you're willing to accept and what you're willing to deal with. So whatever you're dealing with and whatever you're accepting with at this time is just what you're comfortable with. It has nothing to do with your upbringing. It has to do with who you became as a woman.
As an adult, yeah.
Because you're held liable for the decisions that you make. So I can't say, because I grew up in this certain type of environment that, the certain men that I chose, it came from that. No, I wanted a different type of man. I always pictured me
But
being
you
with
speaking
the
from your point.
collar.
Look, let me finish what I was finna say, because I got cut off.
Oh,
I got cut off from the beginning for when I was talking to now. I never got a chance to finish my round. So what I'm saying is, yeah, you can say that, but like for me, for a very long time, the only man I thought I could get was a thug or like somebody that was in drugs. I never thought that I can get a working man. Simply because I truly believe that people childhood traumas do affect them as they get older, especially if they don't have any counseling, any support system, any backbone that affects them. Prime example, my brother. It's a guy on American Horror Story. His mother sent him to some type of male boot camp because the pastor diagnosed that he would be gay at 5 years old. So when he turned 10, before he turned 10, his mom was molesting him all the way until he got 15. We got 15. She sent him to some type of uh Catholic, whatever priest type of boy boot camp, and they raped him and starved him. And it come to find out it was a cult, and his mama still blamed him for that. So it's like that childhood trauma right there. He's 40-some years old and he still cries about that. He said he has those traumas. Same thing for my brother. He grew up in a traumatized home. That shit followed him. So that's great that you and Chanel and a few other people had those examples, and you guys were able to overcome some things. I'm pretty sure y'all went through some things, went through some men, had some, situations, but you guys were able to grow into yourself. Some people don't ever do that. And I hear a lot of people say, well, you're an adult now. You can't blame it on your childhood. Yes, you can.
Yes,
because
you
your
can.
your childhood,
Yes, you
your
can.
Yes, you can.
your
Yes.
childhood makes you it makes you who you are as a person. Like some of the things you learned as a child that were good, that was instilled into you. Like don't spend night at everybody's house. Watch your drink when you got. Don't let everybody play in your hair. Don't let those things carry on with you now, because those people knew how the world worked. How the world was. Some things in the world don't change. It's a different time. So it does. Some people's childhood does affect them. I got to be the voice for the other 8 or 9% that didn't get that chance to be emotional in an emotional space, or didn't get that chance to speak. So I'm glad that you had those examples, and everybody speak from experience. But I'm glad you had those examples. But for me and other people, it's taken us a long time to get to who we are. So it took me a long time to get here. It took me a couple abusive relationships. It took me a couple STD scares. It took me a couple goddamn being cheated on. It took me a couple of times to be like, okay, well, is this right? Especially when your mother is telling you, if a man ain't paying for your bills and you fucking them, and she still say the same shit to this day. But now that I'm older, I look at her like, well, you've been telling me that for years, and you don't even have a stable man in your life. So I can't continue to keep listening to your ass, because I'll be ending up like you. So now that I'm older and I got a daughter, I think my kids will open my eyes. Now I see. You know what I'm saying? At first, I thought like, okay, well, I never was a user because my grandparents taught me not to be that way. I feel like if I ain't had my grandparents like to be dead or in jail, I wouldn't be this person who I am. You know what I'm saying? Up here talking. And my grandparents always allowed me as a child to express myself in my musical talents or my talking, or you know what I'm saying? They always allowed me to express myself. My mother was never one of those types. She could sit here and lie and say, nah, whatever. But she never was one of those types to let us really express ourselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I do believe that the way people was raised in their childhood does affect them to this day. I can't agree with you, and I can't disagree with you. I'm gonna be on the neutral end, because everybody is speaking from experience. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I don't know. I don't know what that side is to have those examples and be able to have an uncle that you look up to that you should get a man. I don't know, because my uncles was most of my uncles were dogs.
Yeah, I
you know
ain't
what I'm
have
saying? And most of my
I ain't have
motherfucking and my daddy, it's just like Pretty J said she never knew her father. I should never known my father, because he was never really there. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the drugs or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. I never really had like
I
an
had
example I can go. I would watch TV. Now I did have the stories. I could watch TV. I could watch the stories. The stories
I
was
had
my example. Bianca had a good man. Bianca would cheat on her man though, on all my children. So I did have, you know what I'm
I
saying,
had
that, you know what I mean? But as far as like a real life and stuff, and that's a lot of things, a lot of too of my mental and my creativity and me and being able to overcome things came from me watching TV and came from me listening to music and as well as came from my grandma teaching me how to heal myself and pray. Those were the three things that kept me afloat and still keep me afloat to this day. So, but other than other than that, it's being raised by that single mother going through that traumatizing stuff that girl said she went through. That is some traumatizing shit. And sometimes that shit still play over in my head sometimes when I go to sleep at night. Like I can watch some shit on TV, like Precious movie. I cannot watch that. My
Yeah,
auntie told me
that's crazy.
she said that when she seen that movie, she boohoo cried because she said that movie is this exactly how my mother minus the mama sleeping with her part. She said that's exactly how your mother treated you and did you. And so I couldn't fully watch that movie all the way through. Those are one of the things that triggered me. So I try to like and I try not to trigger my mental with certain things. Certain things I can't watch, some things I can watch. But it all goes back to and a lot of the anger and pain that I had toward me. My mom used to like teach me try to have, like hate men and it's just like a bunch of stuff. All the anger and resentment I had towards me and other people came from the anger of my mother. She instilled that shit into us by beating us, treating us like slaves, all kind of crazy stuff. So as I grew older, I didn't know how to manage my emotions. I didn't. I used to be an angry, mean motherfucker, like ready to fight, ready to shoot, all that stuff. Like I didn't care. So I'm learning now that I've ran some good people away, that I've ruined some good opportunities to learn how to control my anger. I don't been now I'm in my 30s. Okay, like she said, this is what I want, this is what I don't. But I like the fact that Pretty J broke down the fact that this is what you bring to the table as a woman, not just sex and cooking and
Hmm.
cleaning. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I ain't know that.
Sex
That's
is
I learned something
everywhere. You can
today.
get that
I ain't,
everywhere. That's
you know what I'm saying? I ain't know that. I'm thinking
that's
like
too
shit,
common.
and like she said, you can't find it on the table. It's not in the BBL. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not in today's music, but you can't get these girls. I see some women my age, and I be like, sis, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? That
Hmm.
want a good man, want to be, with a good man, but they are living the city girl life.
You
That
know,
fuck nigga free
Yeah,
song came
each his
out, and
own,
it's just
but
like, you know, girl.
a
I mean,
lot of those
it's
girls
a
are
bop. Don't get me wrong, it's
unhappy.
a bop now. It's a bop, but it's
Nah,
nah,
a lot of them
nah.
are unhappy.
I'm
Um,
sorry, what you was saying?
I I had it both ways, you know. Um,
I
and
think you muted Pretty J if you're trying to talk. Oh, okay.
I had it both ways where I saw the good aspect and the bad aspect, and I consider trauma, childhood trauma, especially, things that we grew up with. I compare that like to a woman that's in an abusive relationship
Mm-hmm.
because you have people that say, "Well, why didn't you just leave?" You know, and it's not as simple as that. As just leaving because when I was in that situation, I left, called the police, had people had my kid's father arrested, all of that. But when it come down to me coming home and he inside my house and I open the door and I come in and he already in there. Not with a key, but he done broke in the house and got back in the house because he done got out of the jail. I'll open my door to walk the kids to school and he out there, bow, right in my face, and I had to leave a whole house. Something that people didn't understand at the time. But I left my house because I didn't feel safe there. I didn't feel like I was able to maneuver there, and that went that traumatized me so much that I was unable to trust anybody in a relationship, whether it was a good man or not. I couldn't trust nobody because look, I trusted you, and I done trusted this man, and this man done did the same thing, and it's not. that they showed me that right up front. My kid's father, it took 2 years for him to show me
Mm-hmm.
exactly
Some of them
who
men's.
he was, you know. Um, and I always brought good things to the table. I was always a hustler. I always made my own money. I always because I knew these things. I knew who I was. I love myself. I mean, all of that was in me, but at the same time, it was beat down and beat out of me, emotionally, mentally, and physically. It was beat down. It's just the situations that we go through cause us to have a whole lot of problems if we're not strong enough to mentally overcome these things. And we
Yep.
have to learn to mentally overcome these things.
And it
Like,
starts being in the childhood at the
right.
It starts
And
in the
like
childhood,
you said,
right?
your
yeah.
uncle worked all the time, my daddy and my mother wasn't together. But if I wanted to see a prime example of a man
Hmm.
that worked and had a career and made money and did and did well for himself, he would have been it. But the job and all that didn't take away from the fact that he didn't pay child support. He didn't give me no consideration. You understand? The things that I went through as a child, as a young adult, he didn't know about. He don't know about the times that men have approached me and tried to take advantage of me, and my mom had to defend me against these things. He didn't know about her being on drugs like that, and me wanting to be around her and protect her, and me trying to protect her put me in danger. He didn't care enough to say, well, I'm going to. And when he did decide that he would step in, I was a teenager. So by that
He was
time, I'm
already
rebelling.
grown.
By that time, I'm rebelling. And because I'm rebellious, what did he do? Put me back in the bus and send me back to my mama. So what was the point? It's just we have to learn how to maneuver these things in our mind. And we
Mm-hmm.
have to have the mentality. I always tell people that if you're in school, if you're in college, take a psychology class.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Take a socio-economic class. Take
Mm-hmm.
something that's going to stimulate your mind and help you understand who you are mentally, not just physically and emotionally, but mentally.
Yeah.
Take a course and stay in school. Don't never be, no, don't never neglect the ability to learn something
Yep.
because I'll be 51 this year and I'm still learning. Not
Mm-hmm. I want to say, as long as you
necessarily
live, you're
from
gonna learn.
school,
Yeah.
Yep.
but I'm still learning how to control myself as a woman,
Mm-hmm.
how to treat my husband right, how to treat my kids right, how not to be so headstrong that I won't let my husband take the lead. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's things that we have to learn, and it goes far beyond the sex and the cooking and the cleaning and the house
Mm-hmm.
and the car. It goes beyond all of that. We have to learn how to do these things mentally. You know, um, I grew up and I had it both ways. And I went through a lot of things. Homelessness. I went to prison one time. I mean, I was always one that wanted the best things because when my mama hustled, that's what she did for me. She gave me everything that I could ever want. So when she died in '98, yeah, all of that was cut off. So I started writing checks and all that. Why? Because I wanted to maintain this lifestyle. Even though I was in school, even though I went to college for nursing, all that stuff, it didn't matter. The thing was, she was gone, so that was gone. So I tried to get it the street way, and I
And
knew,
that's what a lot of us try to do. We try to go our own way about doing things because
yeah,
we weren't taught how to. like you said, maneuver. But ladies, we're gonna wrap this thing on. Oh, I appreciate everybody for coming through here. I want to go back through the room one more time. So the next topic, you know what I'm saying, that I want to get into, um we talked about this episode, we talked about being, raised in a single parent home. What was it like for each one of us? We had a single dad come up. Lady J dropped some. I said Lady J. Pretty J dropped some jewels. So now I know, you know what I'm saying, what I need to bring to the motherfucking table besides some pussy and some goddamn hot meals. I know what the fuck I need to do. Okay. That shit. I honestly did not. I was like, well, what else could I possibly be bringing to the table besides some pussy and some food? Like, I mean, I was trying to think.
The biggest one of them all is shutting the hell up. That's the biggest one. Shut the hell up.
Yeah,
That's what
baby, we got a problem doing that.
But you gotta be in a relationship where you got a voice too.
Yes.
No, I'm just metaphorically speaking though. Yeah. Like that's the big thing. Like give men a time, y'all. Like you know, like
but it gotta be the right man. You can't do it to these hood, these trap niggas.
Of course not. Listen, no. You cannot.
I appreciate you today. So the next thing I want to talk about, which will be next month. If you guys want to join the panel, you guys can just email me. Of course, I send out an email. But the next thing I want to talk about next month, I want to talk about. So I learned a lot. My hand cramped up from taking notes. The next thing I want to talk about is, did the feminist movement create a division between the black man and the black woman? Yes, I want to talk about that now, because a fun fact is we didn't create the feminist movement. The white woman did, because she didn't have a voice. Okay, so but we're gonna get into that next month.
And
so
then what she did is she created it and then fell back and let us take over.
Right, as they always do. They do that
the
with
black
everything.
Takes off.
Yeah, the black woman gonna take it to the top.
Exactly. Once you put us out there, it's So
that's gonna be what it is. So that's gonna be next month topic, that the feminist movement could draw a wedge between the black man and the black male, because. Well, I'm gonna say black, because that's what most people relate to. But I feel Pretty J when she say don't say, she don't like the word black. It's melanated, because when you consider yourself black, you consider yourself an object, and what do they do to a moving object? I get all that. So, but most people, they don't be thinking about that. So, I want to get into that, because I do feel like we, as a race, we should stick together. Because together we are powerful, like she said. And all this separate shit, we ain't gonna get nowhere being separate. But you got some motherfuckers that's already on the other side. They already gone. We're gonna have to let them go on and go on.
We don't want them anyway. We don't want them anyway.
But anyway, ladies, I thank you guys so much. I'm gonna probably cry later, because I didn't think this was even gonna be like this. You know what I'm saying? This is like a shock. But I thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day, your night, to come and talk with me, and whoever else go back and watch this and interact with me. Even the people that are watching that has been here the whole time, I thank you guys so much for just participating in this and making this discussion what it was. We got all viewpoints, and I love talking to people from all walks of life, not just from the South, not from the North, but everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We even had a single dad come on. Like, when have you ever met a single dad? Like, it's like my second time in my life. You know what I'm saying? And so I thank you guys once again. Much love to you guys. As I always end the show, it's been nice. It's been fun, but your girl got to run. Life is too short. Have fun some of the time. Ain't shit all good when your ass all broke. So leave some money in your pocket. The most expensive thing is a closed mind. So always keep your shit open. And if you don't remember anything we said or did in this live recording, remember that weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. Figure out what person you are. Ladies, don't forget to drop your Instagrams and where we can find you guys in the chat. I'm going to go around the room one more time and give everybody a chance to shout out their Instagram or YouTube or your business, or whatever you know what I'm saying, you want the people to know about, your business or your Instagram or where to find you. So we'll start with Chanel.
So my Instagram is talkyesh, 3 H's on the end, _. So you can find me on Instagram. When you find me on Instagram, you could click on in the bio. It's going to have my personal Instagram too. That's how you can find me.
All right, Miss Joyce. How can we find you, Miss Joyce?
You can find me on Instagram, Joyce3365, and on Facebook, Joyce Williams.
Okay. And how about you, Miss Pretty J? With a lot to say. Listen. Listen, you really made me think, girl. I'm over here scrabbling in my brain like, ooh. Yes,
Oh my
I love
goodness,
this.
y'all serious, you silly. I love y'all energy. Thank you for having me. Y'all can find me on IG at the hair surgeon. It's DAHAI surgeon, and my hair page is also the same thing except with an underscore. You guys can find me on Facebook, and I'll type it in the chat as well. Exclusively yours with Teak LLC. Check us out. Check out our books. We have a self-love book, a money and finance book, and a personal book that actually covers all the stuff that we actually talked about tonight. It's called Street Jewels. Look it up on Amazon. Check it out. Look out for both of my other two books. I Could Have Been Her Part 1 and I Could Have Been Her Part 2. Check those out on Amazon. Look for Ashley Grayson.
Yeah, sure. This I got it because I've been trying to add some things to collect to my book collection. I'm collecting books.
Oh,
and I want to read them and stuff. So you said it's called Street Jewels.
Listen, I'm about to type them in the chat for you.
Okay, because you sent in a private chat. So hold on, let me see.
Oh, okay.
That's why. Okay, so I don't know why it's doing private. So I'm finna copy and paste y'all stuff out of the private chat. So you can just put it in into the. I guess the chat is for the like people that's watching. I don't know how to work this thing. This is like my first time having more than one person up here with me. So. Okay, let me. She gonna talk. Okay, Chanel, you put yours in there. Okay, I'm gonna put yours in there so everybody be able to go back in and look at it before they so they can find you all. This was fun. This is like much needed therapy. Like this is why I started a podcast because it's therapeutic for me, not for nobody else, but for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like people listen, they listen. You feel me? But I started a podcast because I went through a situation that made me very angry. And I wanted to, instead of me going out shooting somebody, I wanted to, I decided to make a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
I done been behind the door and it's not nice.
Right.
It ain't nothing fun. So that's why I be seeing the TV show. I seen that show Turned Out with them men's. How them men's be turning them men's out. I was like, oh no, baby, I don't want to go through no shit like that. Let me find me something to damn do here.
Pretty Jay. Are
Pretty
you
Jay.
on Audible too?
Who, me?
Your book? Ma'am. Are they on Audible?
Oh no. You know what? I have to actually sit down and actually read the books and make them audible. But if you have like a Kindle or something like that, you can actually like they'll read it to you, or if like you driving or something, because somebody told me they was driving listening to it.
Oh.
No, you what I'm saying is you should put your books on audible.com.
Oh, I thought you was saying like where they audible.
No. Oh. I was
some people like to listen to it while they, you know what I'm saying?
To listen to books, and that's through Amazon too.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, because that's having a book, that's a separate order. That's a whole nother bag. Okay. I need to think about doing me a little narrative book or something. I don't know what I do.
If y'all want to publish a book, get with me and let me know. I have a publisher. He's black.
I do need to.
He's melanated. Look him up. Good. His name is Lamont Wheeler. I
have a lot of book ideas. I want to
get with me, y'all. I'll even leave my email in the chat.
Oh yeah, good. Because my mom's writing a book too. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, everybody, y'all got when you go back and watch this, you'll see everybody's Facebook, Instagram, and if you can't find them, you can always reach out to me, and I can reach out to them. She put her IG in the private. I don't know if you guys can. You guys see the private check?
I can see it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's her email right there. I'm not gonna put it out on blast because I don't know if she do that. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna give y'all time to copy that, and then we're gonna be adding on out of. Y'all got it. Everybody got the email.
Wait, I'm getting it right now.
Okay. Because I know everybody got to go to work tomorrow. I ain't trying to hold everybody up. This has been a great conversation.
We can do this anytime.
Yes, this is a great conversation. You know what? I'm gonna be the next. Well, a couple of people have been calling me Oprah, so I don't want her trauma, but I do want the bag.
Most definitely.
I don't want a trauma. I want the bag.
Need that big B.
Yeah, I want the big. She's one of the richest, melanated women that we have in our time. So yeah,
I need that big B. I need that.
Give me a
Real, we
bag,
all
sis. You
do.
leave your problems at the door. Just bring the bag in. Leave the
Bring the
problems
And
at the
it's
door.
billions.
enough
Drop
for
it.
us all to get it. So
Look, bring the billions. Bring the
right.
billions.
Drop your problems off over there, baby. You and Stefan or whatever, David. Y'all head over that way.
Look, step. We gonna step right over him, and we gonna get to
You
the
know what?
money.
I'm gonna gossip a little bit real quick before we get out of here. I always wonder why the fuck he never married her.
Because that's her front. Gail is her woman.
Yes,
So
it's a
man.
Girl,
business.
y'all,
Yeah.
That's a
Barbara is
business
not
deal.
gay.
And
What?
another thing is,
Girl, bye.
her and neither Gail got married because they don't want nobody to come close to the money that they got.
Yep.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, when you get a
What?
husband, if
So
y'all
Yep.
y'all
get
think?
divorced, they
Hold
get
on. So
half.
what?
You see what happened to Mary?
Yeah.
Why you think he stay in the pool house? Why you think Stedman stay in
Right.
the
It's a
part of
But
the
I'm
house?
business
saying,
deal.
like, what make y'all feel like?
Cause she don't want nobody. Oprah is from
We
a different
see it.
time where you keep your lifestyle private. Okay, people
Yeah,
could
she is.
assume
Yeah.
in the 60s, 70s, and 50s, if people were, lesbian or gay, you could assume it all night long. But they never gave
Mhm.
you the full inclination that this was happening. So she just comes from a different time where she lives her life privately. You know what I'm saying? She lives her life differently. We all know Gail, her woman, and we know Stedman in the front.
Yes.
That's why his name's Stedman. Get
I
it?
am
Exactly.
shocked. I
Stedman.
am shocked and appalled. Oh my
What?
God.
Girl.
I've heard the
Why you
rumor,
think
but I was
Bobby?
like,
Why you
nah, that
think
ain't
Bobby
true.
and Robert always fell out? Because they was fighting over Whitney.
Well, yeah, I did read that. I did that. Yeah, I figured, that was kind of obvious, just a tad bit, but not Gail. I thought her and Steve had something going on. Not Steve, but Dr. Phil. Oh, got some tea on that. I gotta listen. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to drop. I got some tea on him too. Lord have mercy, Jesus. It's gonna be juicy. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all get on out of here. Thank you guys for keeping it real with us. I'll be watching. Yes, girl. Make sure you subscribe. Girl, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So we'll be talking about the feminist movement next month, and did take a toll on the black community as far as like husband and wife in the black home. We're gonna go deep. We're gonna be digging into some shit. I'm gonna pull up some facts and stuff like that. And it's this lady, I can't pronounce. I think it's Shah. Is it Shahab Razan
You talking
Ali?
about Shirazid Ali?
Yes.
Damn, I can't
love
pronounce
her.
it at all
If
either.
you have
her.
not watched
Yeah.
her, go ahead and watch her because you're
Who?
gonna need her for next
Baby.
month.
Yes.
Baby,
Yes.
You're
you
gonna
ain't
need
ready
her
for
for
that.
next month.
You ain't ready for that one.
Yeah, they're not ready
Right.
for that. So we
Y'all
opening
ain't
up these spaces. We starting and we open up these spaces so we can talk and chat. So anyway, guys, we're not gonna hold y'all any longer. Thank you guys. You guys are welcome to copy and paste this link to your pages, or if you want to take a clip from this, if you're watching it, you rewatching it, if you want to take a clip from it for those of you who want to put on your social media, you can. Feel free to do whatever you want to do it. Just make sure you credit the ladies on the panel. Okay. And make sure you shout out the ladies on the panel, and let's build each other up. Let's grow this thing. Let's get better as a community. And I will catch you guys later. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys
Later,
for being a
girl.
part
All
of this
right, love you,
movement.
girl. Bye bye.
Peace.
Y'all.
Later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye bye.
All right.